Hi, I'm Janine from Purple Room Yoga, and I just like to create a little demonstration of a typical beginner class. This is going to be a really shortened version, but just so you can get a little taste of what I do in my beginner yoga classes. So coming onto your hands and knees, bringing the shoulders over the wrists, spread the fingers wide on the floor. Try to get the entire surface of your palm to connect down into the floor. The hips are over the knees. The feet are just relaxed behind you. Take an inhale. Exhale, draw the navel to the spine, rounding the lower back, then the middle back, then the upper back, coming into a cat pose. Stay in cat and shift forward, rounding a little in the upper back. Stay in cat and shift back, rounding in the lower back. Come back to center. Reverse the curve in the spine by lifting the tailbone, dropping the waist, and pulling the chest forward through the arms, coming into cow pose. For a moment, shrug the shoulders up by the ears, and then slide the shoulder blades down the back, lifting up out of the shoulders, feeling the chest pulling forward, sit bones reaching back. Take an inhale. Exhale, navel to spine, rounding lower back, rounding the middle back, rounding the upper back, head drops last. Inhale, reverse, tailbone lifts, waist drops, chest pulls forward, shoulders roll back, head lifts last, coming into cow pose. And then as you exhale, just melt the hips toward the heels. Melt the forehead to the floor. And if the head doesn't come onto the floor, you can stack your hands. Rest your head on your hands or stack your fists. Rest your head on your fists. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Slowly come on up to sit and make your way up into a standing position. Bringing the feet parallel, hip distance apart. So hip distance is not how wide you think your hips are, just the distance apart of your sit bones. So bringing equal weight to both feet. Feet are about 3 to 4 inches apart and parallel. You want to line up the center of the ankle with the second and third toe on each foot. Lift the toes up off the floor. Spread the toes wide, and it helps to spread the fingers to spread the toes. I don't know why, but it helps. Spread the toes and release them back down onto the floor. And then spin the palms forward, coming into mountain pose. Feel the feet pressing firmly into the floor, stacking the ankles over the heels, softening the knees, stacking the knees over the ankles, hips over the knees, shoulders over hips, head over shoulders. Lift the shoulders up by the ears, and then roll them back and down, reaching the shoulder blades down through the fingertips. Pressing down through the feet, feel the quads working, little engagement of the glutes. Lift through the lower abdominals, heart is open. And then shift your weight more into your right foot. So about 80% of the weight in the right foot, left heel can lift. Feeling mountain pose on that right leg. Quad is working, glutes are working, abdominals are working. Press down through that right foot, and maybe the left knee floats into the chest. Hold as you inhale. Exhale, lower the left foot back down. Shifting to the left. Right heel lifts. So 80% of your weight in that left foot. Engage the quad, engage the buttock, pull the belly in. Inhale, float the right knee up into the chest. Holding here. Inhale a breath. And float the foot down. Find equal standing, mountain pose. And then again, shift to the right. Left heel lifts. Feel the right foot pressing through the floor as you float the left knee into the chest. Keep the pelvis exactly as it is. Rotate the left thigh to the left. And then the foot comes to the inner right leg, maybe up into the hip, maybe all the way down on the floor, squeezing the ankle, the heel against the ankle. Maybe you're on the calf, maybe the lower thigh. Just don't press the heel into the knee joint. Pressing foot against leg, leg against foot, and then hands rest together in front of the heart, coming into tree pose. Feeling the right foot pressing into the floor as you grow taller. Feel the belly pulling in and up. Feel that right leg working. One more inhale. Exhale, floating the left knee forward. And again, shifting into mountain, finding equal weight on both feet, and then moving to the left. Right heel lifts. Press down to lift up. So the more the left foot presses down, the easier it is to bring the right leg up. Rotate the thigh open, pelvis doesn't move. And then foot to inner leg. maybe up into the hip, maybe down at the ankle. Squeeze the foot and the leg together equally, so active inner thighs. Hands are resting at the heart. See something with your eyes. Helps to have the eyes open to balance. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more inhale. Exhale, float the right knee forward and lower the foot. Separate the feet about a leg length apart. Feet, one of your leg lengths. Feet are parallel to start. Spread the toes wide. And then rotate the right foot 90 degrees to the right. Make sure the right thigh rotates 90 degrees to the right so the knee is pointing straight ahead toward the second and third toe. Pelvis is level, but is aiming on a diagonal so you can keep the knee pointing forward. Pressing into the left foot to bend the right knee. Shoulders stay over the wrists, over the hips. Lift the shoulders up by the ears. Roll them back and down. Keep the shoulders down as you reach out through the fingertips. Shoulder blades spread wide across your upper back, reaching out through the fingertips. And then you gaze at the right third finger. Feel the knee directly over the ankle. You should be able to see your big toe just on the inside of the knee, not by turning the toes in, but by pressing the right thigh to the right. Dropping the left hip, lifting the right hip. Rib cage moves away from the pelvis. Pelvis sinks away from the ribs. One more inhale. Exhale. Straighten the right leg. Bring the feet parallel and then left heel. Spin, left toes spin to the left. Left thigh spins to the left. So again, hips are on diagonal to protect the knee. Pressing into the right foot to bend the left knee. Knee over the ankle. See that big toe on the inside of the knee. Chest can open flat to the side, even though the hips are on a diagonal. Shoulder blades go down the back and out through the fingertips. And then you gaze at the left third finger. Breathing in. Breathing out. Feel the knee and the heel reaching away from each other. Oppositional movement. One more inhale. Exhale, straighten the left leg, pivot on the foot, bringing the feet parallel again. Hands come to the hips. Press down through the heels to lift the chest. Little upper back bend, neck is long. And then pelvis tips forward, hinging at the hips. Hands can come to the floor or blocks under your shoulders. Stay with your flat back. Or melt forward, walking the hands between the feet, letting the top of the head drop to or toward the floor. Sit bones move to or toward the ceiling. Knees can be bent or slightly bent. Make sure if the legs are straight, you're not pressing back in the knees. No hyperextended knees, please. Breathing in. Breathing out. Spreading the toes. Feel the feet pressing down to lift the hips. Opening up through the hamstrings a little in the inner thighs. One more inhale. Exhale. Walking yourself forward. Come to your flat back. Press through the feet. Bring the hands to the hips. Hinging at the pelvis. Come all the way back up to stand. And then walk the feet in toward each other. We're going to come down onto the floor. Rolling down onto your back. Knees over the ankles. Arms alongside the body. As you exhale, lift pelvic floor, lower abdominals, really using those lower abdominal muscles. Press through the feet. Squeeze the glutes, inner thighs. Peel on up into your bridge pose. Arms can stay just as they are, palms facing the ceiling, or interlace the fingers and walk the shoulders together underneath the body. Try not to let the wrist pop open. See if you can bring the palms and the wrists together, making one fist with two hands. Feel your feet, just like mountain pose earlier. Really stand on your feet, activating the inner thighs so the thighs are parallel. Reaching the tailbone forward, lengthening the lower back, finding that upper back bend. Glutes are working. Press through the heels. Take a deep breath in to open through the front body. Exhale to lengthen the back body, tailbone through the knees. One more inhale. Exhale, release the arms, roll down, upper back, then middle back, then lower back. Bringing the knees into the chest. Lift the head up to meet the knees, rounding the spine. Release the upper body onto the floor. Drop the knees to the left. Try to stack the right hip over the left hip. Spin the left ribs to the ceiling, right ribs to the floor. Let the right arm open. If the right arm doesn't touch the floor, maybe you rest it on a block or on a towel. Maybe the hand comes to the waist and just the elbow drops back. Feel the right hip reaching forward. Feel the right ribs melting back. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale slowly back out through the nose. One more deep breath in. Fill the belly, rib cage, and chest with air. And empty all the way out. Coming back onto your back. Knees to the right. Stacking the left hip over the right hip. Right ribs to the ceiling, left ribs to the floor. Left arm opens again. Support your body in any way that you need. Maybe a block or towel under your left arm. Maybe the hand on the waist. Breathing deeply. Fill the body with breath. Exhale slowly just to melt into the twist. Try not to force anything to happen. See how much you can relax and just give into gravity. Take one more inhale. And exhale. Coming back onto your back. Hug the knees in. Lift the head up to meet the knees. And release, letting the legs extend long on the floor. Hands rest on the belly, or they open to the sides, palms facing the ceiling. Let the eyes close. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. And just let the body drop into the floor. Feel the floor rising upward to support your body, giving you permission to relax completely. The mind observes the breath, noticing the ebb and flow of your breath as the body breathes for you. The breath might be slightly faster and more shallow than you would like. Just allow the breath to be just as it is, and the mind notices. When the mind wanders, and it will, gently and kindly guide yourself back to this moment, reconnecting to your breath, bringing the body into stillness and the mind into silence. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Gently begin wiggling your fingers and your toes. Allow your head to rock gently from side to side. When you're ready, curl up onto your right side and just rest there for a few moments. And keeping the eyes closed and the head heavy, slowly make your way up into a comfortable seated position, extending the spine upward and relaxing the shoulder blades down the back, taking this feeling with you into the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching my little beginner yoga video. I teach beginner yoga on every Wednesday at 9:30 Eastern Time. And starting on November 12th, I'll also be teaching a mini beginner yoga class on Fridays at 8:30 Eastern Time. You can find me at moxie.xyz/purpleroomyoga.